Okay, I guess it's recording.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
recording. Yeah, it's
Okay,
recording.
so the so my theory was that, and it's just a theory. I don't have any science or anything backing it, but when they made cryptocurrencies illegal in China, that everyone who's holding the cryptocurrencies is obviously selling it to get out from it. You know, all the big players, all the small players, they're just offloading it. So, um, how would you how would you use that information to validate if what's going on? Why are cryptos still down? Let's start with
Well,
that.
China was a big chunk of it, huge.
Yeah, yeah.
And that scared a lot of people because they were able to grasp an understanding of, yes, they can vanish very quickly. They can vanish overnight. And, to be honest with you, again, I think we covered China maybe last week or the week before. I can't remember.
Yeah, we
But
did.
as a medium, as a psychic medium, you don't remember what you tell people. You just don't, because it's kind of like childbirth. It's like the pain of childbirth is horrendous, and then as soon as you have the baby, you forget all about it. It's the same thing with psychic readings and things like that. It's like, okay, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, blah blah, but you forget all about everything because it's just too much. I don't know, it's just the way our brains are designed. So I yeah, I don't feel that there is a big sell off in China. I don't think they can sell off. Obviously, the big whales, the crypto whales, can find people to sell it off for them, as in what they're doing is they're paying outside organizations to sell the crypto for them out of the country, and they're transferring. This is coming in from Spirit, right? They're transferring the wallets over, but they're having to pay hefty fees for this. I'm talking like probably 40 to 50% fees, and
But
these
is
are the
this
people that can
is
afford
it
it.
not to interrupt you, but is this what's keeping the price low? I mean, this was a theory I had. I didn't want to direct you to, to answer a line of questioning that didn't really even, be relevant to the average holder of cryptos. We're just fish swimming in the sea. There's big monster fish out there that control the market essentially. So
Yeah.
what is keeping the price of cryptos low? It's like, wouldn't this be a buying opportunity? Wouldn't this, it's like the
Well,
threat of inflation is always there. The threat of, the currencies is always there. Isn't that the premise behind all these cryptos?
I think the whole Chinese thing and the whole, okay, so it's a combination. First of all, let me just finish on the Chinese thing. So they're paying outside organizations like out of the country. These are the whales. I'm not talking about small time, $10 investors, whatever. I'm talking about the whales. They have managed to find agencies outside of China. They've transferred the wallets because you can transfer wallets very easily, right? You can send all your cryptos to somebody else's wallet, but they're having to pay like these really big fees for somebody to sell it on their behalf. And then they've got the additional problem where, how are they going to access the money? There are crypto brokers out there, but they're not under any sort of regulation, not here in this country. They're not under regulations. There's crypto brokers out in Utah, out in California. There's some big ones out in California. Actually, somebody recommended one to me, and I said, wow, that's great, because obviously the exchanges are difficult. Trying to register is difficult. Trying to buy
Yeah,
and sell is
Caleb and
difficult.
Brown is just known in Australia in all these remote viewing crypto world that everyone just says that they're the best. I think it's Caleb and Brown. I'm pulling it from memory. But anyways, let
But
me direct this. Let me direct this. Unless you want to finish your point.
hold on,
Is
let
there
me just
something?
finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So the point is, so now these outside organizations are trying to sell because they're making a profit on the sale. So there's still, there's a lot up for sale. You're talking about I don't know how many millions of people. You remember the crypto craze in China was big. You had people remortgaging their properties and investing everything in crypto. There was a documentary about this on the BBC. I just watched it last week. The BBC covered how, part of the reason why China outlawed it, and China's reasoning was people were going crypto crazy. They're remortgaging, taking out loans, trying everything to, make money off the cryptos out in China. But the real reason, as we know, is all about power and control. All these governments are starting to lose power and control. Now, these crypto brokers, I mean, they're not governed by any laws here in the United States. So, you're taking a big risk by going with these crypto brokers, but there's still a lot up for sale. The big Chinese whales are still trying to sell off and salvage as much as they can. And they're
Okay,
taking huge losses.
that's where I was gonna go with this,
Mm.
because the only thing that matters is like what's gonna happen next, right? So, so this is coming from Spirit, the information that you just brought.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me try something. So let's first start with focusing on China, and
Mhm.
take all of the cryptocurrency holders,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
large relevant ones. Let's say anyone holding more than $1 million.
Okay.
Or would they not be relevant? Let's just call it 100,000. Anyone holding more than $100,000,
Oh, God.
all right, in
Yeah,
China,
that's a
um,
lot of people.
and a lot of people, and then take that group of people and let's turn that into one entity, and let's ask that entity questions.
Okay. Hey, I love energy. I love
Yeah.
energy and I love entity questions. So
Okay.
yes.
All right. So this group will be one entity, and they're in China, and so
They're bankrupt.
they're all bankrupt.
That's what they just said. So, that's a great idea. And, just clarify for people that when we're saying entity, we're meaning not like some dark demon entity. It's just a generic term for a collective group. So, but you have to group them together, and then you have to feel the energy of the group. That group is bankrupt. I mean, they are scrambling, they're bankrupt. People are losing their homes. They're scrambling. They don't know how
Are
they're
they
going to possibly
are
pay the bills.
are they like are they like trying to sell it like quickly, or are they not even allowed to sell? I don't know
Well,
the full circumstance.
okay, so let's ask. Those are great questions. Are they allowed to sell? No, they're not allowed to sell, which is why Spirit said they have to go to these outside organizations. And in order to do outside organizations, you have to go like underground, VPNs, all of that. Now, I know somebody did say something, I think at our last Zoom chat, where we had a group chat with the Patreon crowd, our Patreon group, Remote Viewing and Beyond, where they said that most of the VPNs were owned by like the governments, like FBI or CIA. So they're
Yeah, that was
monitoring.
me. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that
I'm
was
well aware
you.
of that. Yeah,
There
yeah,
you
yeah.
go.
I'm
See,
well
I
aware
didn't
of
know
that.
that. But this
Okay.
crowd right here, they are bankrupt. And you've got millions. I'm actually getting more than, I don't know what the population is in China. But I'm getting like, it's a very, very, probably 20 to 30% of the population was invested in cryptos.
Okay,
Um,
so
yeah.
let's ask another line of questions. So the first question was, they're not able to sell, but obviously they're going to try to salvage that. Um,
Mhm.
so are they going to sell? Are they going to continue to sell over the course of the next 2 weeks, or is this already? Are they going to hold? What is the majority going to do? Are they going to hold and ride this out and figure out what to do, or are they
No, they
going?
can't hold. They can't hold.
They can't
Holding
hold
is not going to benefit them because, again,
during
we're
exchanges
talking
then.
about, we're talking about, okay, this is what Spirit are telling me. Now you have to understand, everybody listening, that I am so technologically defunct, deficient, it's ridiculous. So I get this information from Spirit. I cannot be a tech queen as well as like the high priestess. It just, I can't do it. So what they're telling me is that, you know, they're not going to be able to hold them. They're not. There's no point. The longer they hold, the more, you know, the further they are away from being able to sell it. You've got black market dealers right now.
So they're on the exchange basically. So if they had their own private wallets and their own keys, this really wouldn't be a problem. So these are for the people who are on the exchange. So the next question would be, if they're going to immediately sell it, okay, so this is what's keeping the price down. What would be the total, what percentage of the complete market cap of cryptocurrencies are stuck in this problem? Like how much money are we talking about that's just
Oh my
selling
God.
off from China?
You're talking about billions upon billions upon billions. And I'm getting that. Let's try to get a percentage rate from this group. So we're going to move time movement, and we're going to go to the end of the year with this group of people. Okay. And we're going to say, what percentage of you were able to sell off your cryptos and salvage some of your money? 30%. So out of this entire group of people, and remember, we grouped this as anybody who had more than $100,000 US dollars into the crypto market, only 30% are going to be able to salvage some of their coins.
Okay, so how much, okay, let's do this. Let's move up a month and see what the average cost of cryptos of Bitcoin is in 30 days. Let's and ask this group. So let's go up to
well, they're devastated. They're
June
devastated.
20th. June 20th. Have they
Well,
sold
June
off?
29th.
Okay, so June 29th. But let's, okay, did they resolve this problem? Did they just like,
No.
Obviously they didn't come out on top, but are they done? Like, did they finish selling, or did they just abandon ship? In my mind, I would expect all the exchanges to just shut down, all your accounts locked up. That's what I'm thinking. So they wouldn't be able to sell everything off,
Right.
unless the exchanges were probably seized by China. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. So my question is, in 30 days time, is this done?
Yeah, pretty much. I think people have resigned themselves to the fact that it's gone. The other thing that came through as you were talking was there's going to be a very high suicide rate because of this, because people have lost so much money. A lot of really high male suicide rate. The females, no, not so much, but the male suicide rate from this prevention of, you know, you can't buy any cryptos, you can't sell any cryptos. I mean, well, okay, you can buy and sell them, but the transactions cannot hit your bank account. Look, China doesn't even allow Facebook, right? So that's how much they've got that country sewed up. I mean, they really do. They sew up that population like you wouldn't believe. So you know, so I think it's pretty much done. I do see a big boost around July, August time for the cryptos. I do see a boost, but I think the additional problem is it scared so many people at how the government can just make these cryptos vanish. And I'm talking outside of China. People actually have sold off, even though the cryptos are at their lowest point. People have sold. They have.
Okay, so is there anything else related to the China thing? Because I'm having a hard time constructing questions that would be relevant to the future price. Obviously, they're fucked. So I just, you know, I just don't have, I just don't have a whole lot to add to it. and I want to go in a different direction, but is there anything else
Yeah.
coming through, either through that collective that we grouped together or through spirit related to them? I mean, my heart goes out to, everyone,
Oh yeah.
but,
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
I mean, especially people that have put their heart and soul into cryptos. That's why, that magic formula is on the Patreon. And I wholeheartedly agree with that formula that Spirit gave us. Like, it just makes so much sense. Like, people, I don't want to go into all that because it is on the Patreon. It's not fair for the Patreon subscribers. Look, it's only $5 a month, right? But it's not fair to them for me to put that information out there, because they subscribe. But I think, a lot of psychics and crypto viewing, and none of us really predicted this crash. And there's a reason for that. The reason being is nobody was supposed to avoid it. You weren't supposed to have the inside information from the spirit world to avoid the crash. Not me, not you, not anybody. And the reason that I'm getting from, let me group the crash, excuse me, as a whole. So I'm going to create a new entity here, and I'm going to group the crash as a whole, the energy around that crash, and I'm going to view it. Okay, that crash, what because you can read energy, right? That crash was to serve as a warning as to how easy it is for these cryptos to disappear. And people listened to that warning, and people sold off. They did, because everybody knows these governments do not like the cryptos. They don't like it. They can't tax them properly. Money laundering, trafficking. I mean, it just goes on and on and
okay.
on.
So you've created an entity, and it's the overall crash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's an energy. So
Mm-hmm.
how would you, okay, so that energy has a purpose, and the purpose was to send a message, and everyone was supposed to experience the correction. Okay. So
And
can you go beyond?
also,
Uh-huh.
people don't have money to invest. I'm getting this very strongly, that people do not have all this spare money to invest into the low part. Okay, yeah, the billionaires do, but look, they're not stupid, right? They're not looking to make a quick buck off of crypto. Okay, crypto is for the people that are really trying to make some money. The traditional old school, billionaire, they let the stock market and brokers and things like that handle their money, right? They have people that manage their money for them, and managing that money is not really investing in cryptos. It's the middle, the middle to low class of people that are trying to get a leg up with the cryptos. Okay. So, and people are scared. They're scared of putting their money back into cryptos because it's a gamble, which is, again, while I'll say it again, which is why, on the Patreon, we got our secret formula, which is minimal risk and maximum profit.
Okay, so you've created this entity that is the crash. There's a lesson that comes with this crash, and that's its sole purpose. Can you ask this crash, is that its sole purpose, is to serve as a warning to everyone?
Yeah. The main purpose for those of us outside of China is a huge warning. I mean, I can see it. It's like a red alert, a red alert, Yeah, what is it where it's a Star Trek? Now I'm showing my age, where they go, nah, nah,
Yeah.
Captain, something's gonna happen with the ship. Yeah, this is a red alert. This ship can crash easily and quickly without warning. And I think I've put warnings out there before about that. And I do see, I'm not trying to scare people, but I do see that this has a very high potential of just cryptos vanishing. The technology, I know that people say that's great technology, and yes, it is, but there's always somebody ahead of the game, always. And when you're talking about professional hacking teams that can turn off gas pipelines and lock hotel room doors and hold people for ransom and companies for ransom. Hey, believe me, they will find a way to get the cryptos. They will. They'll find, and they're going to find a way to hack in en masse. So, there's no point just say, oh, we're going to wipe out, 20% of the Bitcoin. Okay, that's going to hurt 20% of Bitcoin holders, but it's not going to hurt the masses.
So
They're
there,
going to hurt the masses.
so there's going to be another run up though before this happens, right? So everyone can
Oh
still be
yeah,
hopeful.
we're safe for a good, I would say year and a half. Are we safe for a year and a half? Yeah.
Okay. Now, what over the next week or two, are we going to still experience this bear market where it's going to continue to go down, or is it uphill from here? Because it looks like there is a little bit of a bounce as of this morning in the crypto market. What energy are you feeling?
No, okay, so I'm gonna cancel out that crash energy, and I'm gonna put the crypto market as a whole in the energy. Okay, so I'm gonna read a new energy here, and I see it's gonna be pretty flat. It's gonna have blips in there, of peaks, and then but see, everybody, what I'm getting very strongly is as soon as they hit a peak, people are selling off. They're scared.
Right.
You take, for example, Polygon, right? And the reason I'm choosing Polygon is because my kid bought bought some Polygon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, his little $20 when it disappeared, he was so sad. But for example, Polygon, because he's always watching Polygon, and it'll go up to like 228, 230, and then bam, it goes down straight away because people are looking now for those peak points and they're getting out. And they're being very cautious about reinvesting that profit. Before, people had this belief in cryptos that was like no other. It was more than the stock market. But now they're like, okay, I'm going to take my profit and I'm only going to, they were throwing all of their profit back in. Now they're only throwing a small fraction of profit back in, which is technically what you're supposed to do anyway. Listen, if you're following the fund rules, and I'm in no way, we have to specify this, Craig, we are not financial advisors. We are two people. I'm a psychic medium. Craig is a critical thinker. That's what we are. This is just for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. You have to do your own research. And again, I'll put that clause in there that if your soul has blockages in the way and your life lessons, Liz cannot override your life lessons through your soul journey with her crypto predictions. And what do I mean by that? The platform could crash. You could hit a wrong button. Your electricity could go out. You know what I mean? Like, and that's happened. So what was I saying? So people are only
So the next couple of
reinvesting a
weeks,
small
it's going to be,
percentage.
so for the
It's
next couple of
flat.
weeks, it's going to be bear. Okay. And then it's
It's
probably
going to
going to
be
go down
flat.
a little bit. Oh, okay. It'll be flat. All right. So is there anything to add? Let's chop this one up and then go to another topic.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Okay.
There's
Anything
nothing
that's
really
missing?
else to add. Again, we have a nice little community on Patreon. It's $5 a month. I put predictions out on there. Craig
I put it in the
asked the
description.
question.
I put
Yeah.
all that stuff in the description. They
Okay.
can just sign up and contact you. So and get readings from you and things like that. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording here. Okay, perfect.
Bye.